Shap Kunjani Bafetu, welcome to it, man. Thank you for joining us. It's your boy TJ, all the way from the Beast Trend. This is Behind the Keys, where we decipher the music and break down what goes into the music and what the music is. So basically, man, this is a show whereby we'll be challenging all of those and then just break down all of that, mainly focusing on what's hot and what has been keeping us dancing the whole time. Like I said, I go by the name TJ, and of course I'm not alone.
My name is Legendary Crisp, and if you guys listen to YFM, you'd know me from my YTKO mixes every second Monday and my Mix Capital mixes. So what we're going to be doing today is covering the top 5 albums and mainly top 3 albums that kept us alive during 2020 and the corona pandemic. So we're just going to get into it now, and we're just going to break down my top 5. You're going to give me your top 5, and then we're going to give the crew's top 5. So you can start.
Alright, cool. You already know, man. So without wasting much time, given the fact that I am obviously from the East End, the Beast Trend, I hope you guys don't take this as me being biased. But my number 1 obviously goes to Demtuda with Story to Tell. I think it was actually a dope EP.
It was, but number 1.
Obviously, man. I mean, hey, you know, I think he came in strong there. He actually made a statement as a producer, specifically in the Amapiano genre. And then number 2, I was a bit skeptical about this one, but we'll give it to Kelvyn Momo with Momo's Private School Piano.
Okay, no, carry on.
Okay, so yeah, that was my number 2, Momo with Momo's Private School Piano. And then my number 3 goes to Isigo from Keyz. I also felt that was a bit dope as well.
Okay.
And then we go back again to Efos Lorasi, where we have Demtuda with Ace of Spades. I mean, given the fact that I'm a very outgoing person, I think I enjoy fast-paced music that can actually make me dance. And I think Ace of Spades actually gave me that element when it comes to music. And then lastly, it had to be Josiah the Disciple with Spirit of Makwela, rather, yeah.
Or
Spirit
Makula.
of Makwela.
1 or 2 Makula, that's the Disciple.
Yeah, so that's basically my top 5. And yeah, that's what I feel is what it is.
Okay, let's get into a real honest top 5.
Wow.
Number 1, okay, is Momo's Private School by Kelvyn Momo. We will elaborate further on everything, so I'm just going to list it for you. Number 2 was Isiko by Keyz, that was a spiritual journey. Number 3, Bayeke by Babalwa M. Babalwa M Bayeke. Number 3.
Okay.
And then number 4,
okay,
Story to Tell by Demtuda. Shame, like he really did put some good work out. And then my number 5 was Split, but the main number 5 is Spirit of Makula or Makwela by Josiah the Disciple's single project that he did by himself with no one else. That one, because I don't want to butcher people's surnames, but I also shared it with Future Classics by Kota Embassy. But because that dropped now, I don't think it's completely fair to put it in the top 5, because we are looking at projects that dropped a bit earlier in the year.
Period, yeah.
So do you want to give them the crew's top 5? I think maybe what you can do is just list the projects that we didn't list.
All right, 100%. So yeah, a few of them actually were already mentioned. I think the 2 that actually is a 2 or 1, the
3
that stood out on the crew's top 5 was Kabza the Small with Pretty Girls Love Amapiano. And then the other one was
Uyang Testa by Daliwunga.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
Thank
also
you for
that.
correcting me. And then number 3 that we didn't list was Shona Malanga by Mass Music and Amos. That definitely deserved to be there. So I think what we can do is just start by going into Story to Tell, your number 1. So what we are going to do is you're going to choose, or tell us rather, your top 2 songs from there, and then we'll see if, hey, this number 1 makes sense. So
obvious.
You can start by telling me what your 2 songs were.
All right, so the reason why I decided on these 2 songs, guys, I feel like they both different, and to find 2 different songs in one EP actually speaks volumes. So the first one would be Amachita Nestogo. Mainly because I feel like it's a party vibe. It speaks to Abantu Fomikasi. It speaks to the nightlife that we enjoy. You understand? It speaks about Amachita Nestogo. I think that is self-explanatory. That's my number 1 from there. And then the second one that I enjoyed is Ilona, Umona. And Umona, given the fact that obviously people have a perception that piano it lacks substance in terms of the message it conveys and all of that. Umona came in and it actually gives you a message, it gives you something to listen to, but also while you still no one
you know, for people who haven't listened to this song,
guys, so I think that was quite deep and yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm really gonna agree with Umona, but it's not either one of my top twos.
Okay.
My first song, which I feel is like a piano classic from this album, was Pavenda. If you listen to that song shows you how talented Demtuda really is. It even had it sounded like a sample from Revolution, if I'm not mistaken, but he really swapped it out completely. So you wouldn't say it's just a sample and then log drum or whatever. He actually really went into it. And I was even oh, Demtuda, yeah. And then number 5 on the EP, which is Gupu featuring Young Men. So you say you like songs that are really go out there
vibey,
and pounce and whatever.
Obvious.
This song is I feel basically the epitome of that. It has such a great bass line, and I've played it quite a few times, not only for myself, but I've just seen people really love the song because it just has that nice vibe where I'm already dancing by myself. But yeah, those are my 2 songs. But I will give you credit for Umona. It was really a really dope song. And the more you listen to it, the more you just are ooh, where's my drink? And it has a 2-step vibe to it basically.
All right, 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, we want to engage, we want to talk about these and find out. Obviously, we'll listen from a different perspective, and then that will actually help us into deciphering the music and finding out what the music is about. Now we're going to move on to
Bayeke
by
Babalwa M. With what he just said, guys, please subscribe to the channel and leave your comments, because I'm sure some of you guys agree with me because we've got amazing taste. Some of you guys also agree with TJ, and some of you guys probably just feel like we're talking a whole lot of nonsense. So let us know what you guys think, because we can't listen to all of the music. So you guys might also have some very valid projects that we may have left out. So now, must I give you my first top 2 since I went the last time?
Look, maybe let's just do it that way.
Okay, cool.
You go first, yeah.
So I really love this project a lot. So it was very difficult for me to just select 2 songs from there, but one of my standout songs from there had to be Feza. I don't know, I just like the feel of the song. It is a bit very African. If I don't want to sound American, be oh, it's so African, but it really had a real, a feel to it, and also her vocals on it. And I don't understand Xhosa fully, but I feel there was some good messaging, because she's probably speaking about wishing people well.
So you sensed the message.
So I sensed it, I was this is great messaging. And then I'm going to split my number 2s between Imali and Momo. I like the sound of Imali. It really gives me the sound that Babalwa has, that Erykah Badu type of thing to her, where her music is very unique, and she doesn't sound like just any other great vocalist who's got good vocals, but she's got something different. And then I just like Momo because of the lyrics that Momo. It just has a dope thing to it, even that Molo. Hi. So those were my 2 songs from Bayeke.
Yeah. Okay, so clearly we're not too different. I think you also like the vibe. You also like that music that can just basically get you to stand up and go grab that drink, you understand, and have that fun. But also, I think I have to agree as well when it comes to Imali. It was actually a dope song that actually reflected on Babalwa as a vocalist and told us a story basically as we went into it. I didn't really get into listening to the project entirely, but one that actually touched me as well is Zama. I think that's actually a decent song to have there, and it was not too far off. The vocalists were also not too shabby, so yeah. I enjoyed
think
that
a
as well.
song from that project which was mentioned, which we didn't necessarily choose as our top 2, was Nomalanga. That has classic Kelvyn Momo production on it, and her vocals also just enhanced that. So I think there we were Bay and Bay, they really came together and did something good. So yeah, Nomalanga was also a really good song on there as well.
100%. I think we're gonna hear a lot about Kelvyn Momo, but hey, it is what it is, man.
Okay, let us have a palate cleanser since you're already tired of Kelvyn Momo. I think that we should discuss Isigo next by Keyz. So I started with Babalwa. Here you go, because I see you're
100%. I'm busy looking for it, my man. So with Isigo, I think I'd have to go with Ingoma. Okay. Yeah, again, for obvious reasons, guys. I think wherever Demtuda is, obviously, definitely, man. You can't question the guy's talent.
We smell your bias. We smell you have
yeah, I think that definitely is a hit for me. It touched me in certain places, and I have to agree with that. It was actually a dope song. And then also, I think another one was Black Mambazo featuring Demtuda. That also is a classic, and I think it's actually very timeless. It's actually very timeless, and I think it's here to do wonders actually.
Okay, for the real review of Isigo, I'm joking. My top one song on there was number 6, which is Bega, and that had Mao. What's it? Pronounce it for me. So the other M keys, but with the H and the A and the W.
Moho.
Yes, Moho.
M-ho.
Yeah. So I really, really like Bega. I felt like it's a journey when you listen to the song. It starts off nice and slow, and then the vocals are introduced, and then it builds up. And you can hear in M Key's voice when there's parts where I don't know if he's crying or what, but like there's something where you're like, yo, my clothes, man. And that time I'm colored, but I'm like, yo, my clothes. Yes, I can feel this thing. Wow. So for me, that was like really one of the big songs. And I also really enjoyed Ubizo. So I felt like Ubizo is something like Umona, the vibe, not necessarily the messaging, but it just had like one of those like stock fell. So that was like also one of it for me. And I also like the song with Mdu, aka TRP. Lasem Mhlabeni, like, he was telling us, guys, this is not your mother's house. This is the world. The world will show you things. You must know how to treat people. So I really liked those songs from the project. And I also feel like because we heard a lot of M Keyz on a lot of the other projects as well, like his voice is just really something that is going to be different. I think we've been exposed to a particular type of vocalist for a while. And it's also nice to see unique vocalists coming into the scene, because I think people just think that vocalists with this type of music are a particular sound, so having that introduction works well. Now, my favorite.
Okay, are you ready?
My favorite.
Okay, let's go.
Momo's private school. I feel like you must go first because I'm sure you're gonna give me laughables with this. So let me just see.
Look, man. From my side, honestly, with Momo's private school, I'd have to go with Kumbaya. And the reason for that, obviously, is I go way back with House, and I come from far back with who's the vocalist again? Danny Dag.
Yes.
Danny Dag is actually a good vocalist, which I've always been rooting for and I've always enjoyed. And him fusing that with Kelvyn Momo's production was a total classic when it came to that. And then
that song actually gave me R&B vibes, if I can say it. It like wasn't a completely Amapiano song. I think like with Kelvyn Momo and other artists like him, people just tend to classify them as Amapiano because that's what they're known for. But their music sometimes doesn't necessarily sound like that. I don't want to say lounge because it's not loungy, but it has like a different feel to it. So I get why you would like that song.
Yeah, no, definitely. Speaking of loungy as well. I think my second one also would definitely have to be Lately.
Okay.
I'm from the old school of Amapiano before it became what it is now, when it was still sex and instrument. You understand? When it was still Amapiano back then, I think that's how I fell in love with Lately, because it has that instrument feel going on, that sex going on. It takes me back to the times of Brazo Africa and Chama Music and all of those, So that definitely had to be my number 2 because it resonates with me from way back then. So yeah, man.
I'm gonna agree with you with that song because it also gives me very actual plain soulful house tunes. Like, it doesn't sound Amapiano-ish at all. If you are someone who used to listen to a lot of Vanita Vinci or just deep house Africa, I feel like I'm messing it up, but yeah, basically I can tell what his influences are in listening to that song and in also listening to Thoughts of You. Like
definitely.
I really feel like those songs and Overflow are of a particular Kelvyn Momo sound, like the classic Kelvyn Momo sound. I'm not gonna say my number 1 or number 2. I'm literally just gonna try and combine as many songs because I literally skipped probably 0 to 1 songs on this project. But I do think a couple of songs worth mentioning is Soul to Soul with Babalwa M. That song did really well, and I do think it's always a great opening set song. Her vocals on it, and it's just like very sing-alongish as well. I think a lot of the ladies would love that because it caters to them. Because you know sometimes women feel like, oh no, the music is nice, but you know it doesn't cater for us. I think another song that I also really enjoyed, and I'm gonna combine them.
Just go through the whole list one time.
And for all. I actually really liked Kolwa with Babalwa M and Keyz. The two of them on that joined together, like their vocals. It was pure bliss. Like I wish I could have been there in studio if they were recording together. But another classic, and I think could possibly be number one on the album for me, is Blue Moon featuring Howard. So the song did have like a bit of controversy. Well, not controversy, but before it dropped, it kind of sounded leaked because they had a song that they did for Mapepa. Rest in peace, 707. But this song sounded very similar to that. But then when it dropped, it was just like, something else went on. And my second song right now, just like today as I'm sitting here, my second song would have to be Impilo. I think the reason why I really like Impilo is because we first heard it on Kabza's I Am the King of Amapiano album. And you could hear that the song had something, but when Kelvyn went back into studio to rework it for his album, I think that it almost became like a different song with the vocalist added on, and just like it was less mellow and more, you know, oomphy, but still quite in line with Kelvyn Momo.
Definitely.
So I'm not going to carry on because I can, but I can see you don't want to.
Sure. I ain't get it, guys. Thank you, man, for joining us on Momo's private school piano review, because that's basically what it was the whole time.
You're such a hater when you're going on here about the Demtuda. I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, man, but that's what it is, guys, man. That's what we had for you. We're just breaking down these albums, breaking down the work that took us through the lockdown. Don't forget to go on, obviously, on social media platforms.
Before you like just disperse the meeting, I
now?
think that we should discuss a bit. Just Uyang Testa, Shona Malanga, and Pretty Girls Love Amapiano. Just briefly, we're not gonna necessarily like go in and list songs, but I think if you can maybe just give your opinion if you have any on one of the three or all of the three, that would also just be very interesting to hear at this point in time, because wow.
So with those three projects, guys, I don't think I've given it the time. I actually haven't listened to those. I'm gonna be honest in that I haven't listened to those three projects, but I'm definitely gonna give it time. I'm definitely gonna listen. I'm gonna give it time. I'm gonna listen to them, and I'm gonna give you a proper review.
Okay.
Maybe you might want to check it out.
Welcome to Crisp Reviews, where we listen to everything. No, I'm joking. Okay, so what I liked about Pretty Girls Love Amapiano, the album, is that we actually got a touch of Kabza that really won over actual piano fans. Like, it wasn't necessarily the stuff that you hear on the radio. It was actual Kabza the Smalls, where you can hear that this guy was actually once upon a time a deep house producer. I really liked Dr. Pepper on that song. And then Uyang Testa, I liked Kola, but Kola gave me vibes of, I think it's Utando. He has a song that he did with KLS. It sounded like, I don't know what it is, if it's the melody, because the beats are completely different. Kola's a bit more mellow, but there's something in the melody or the lyrics, or maybe I'm not understanding Zulu properly, but there was a like feel to it that I really liked. And also the single of the song Uyang Testa was probably like one of the best songs on the body of work. And then when we get to Shona Malanga, I really like Bambelela, and I feel like everybody was touched, or most people were touched by Bambelela. It was so touching that so many other producers went to go create their own Bambelelas, and that's when you know that you've really done something well. I always say when I listen to that song, it sounds like I'm going to church, or there's just like, you know, spiritual upliftment. If you're going through something in your life, if you have corona, if you sick nyana, listen to that song. And then my favorite song off there as well was the one with Shasha, which was Ubukoda. I really felt like that was just like a very pretty song with them believing, you know. So yeah, now you can
close
say
it
bye-bye.
Hey. I think another song though that just caught me that I need to mention. I'm not sure what the EP is. From Jezik. I think it's the song is Lengoma.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to comment. Take it over.
No,
Eastern, you know, take it
over. No, man, look, with Lengoma, I think I vibe with Lengoma purely because obviously it gives me the same energy. Like I said, it gives me the energy. And before it dropped, they were actually in studio and they took a live video of that. Oh. And it trended before it could.
Is that the one where they all like
where they all in studio and Jezik is just sitting there? You understand?
Like, yeah.
So everyone was looking forward to that EP before it even dropped because of that song. And I think it definitely made that song. But yeah, man. I think that's it from my side. Do you have anything else that you want to add, maybe?
All I just want to tell you guys is please subscribe. subscribe. Please leave your comment, and then also join us on Facebook, because I know a lot of you guys are on Facebook and quite active on there. Please engage, guys. The show is nothing without your engagement. You know, we are giving our own preferences at the end of the day, but we would like to encourage not only you as the viewer, but also producers to engage and just let us know on different things, you know. And as time goes by, we're hoping to have producers come and also just break down their projects. Yes, you, Keyz, Babalwa, Demtuda, Jazzik, everybody. So please subscribe, follow each of us, and next episode we have Oksala or something nice. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, definitely, man.
Okay.
This was the first installment. Sorry about that. This was the first installment of Behind the Keyz. Do tune in next time when we bring you a crazy show, whereby obviously we're going to be breaking down the music, finding out what goes into making the music and what the music is. I go by the name TJ. Join us on Facebook. Join us next time again when we do this.
It's legendary Chris.